Ladies and gentlemen, Infinity Publishing Group and the Honky Tonk Network proudly present the Dusty Rhodes Show. And here's your host, Dusty Rhodes.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Dusty Rhodes Show. I'm Dusty Rhodes, and we have here Miss Adele Watt. She is a painter, and she kind of stumbled onto painting. It wasn't anything that she had planned to do in her life. And her life story is a very interesting story, and we want to tell you about it because I feel like Miss Adele is a person that has a life that we all would find interesting, and I think that can be inspirational to a lot of other people. And when she tells her story, you'll know why. Miss Adele.
Hi. Well, my life really started out in a Salvation Army home. My mother had abandoned me when I was a baby, and I lived there then until I was 3 years old. And at that time, a woman came and picked me up and said she was taking me to a new home. And I was taken then to my first foster home. And had a pretty good memory at that time, and the purpose that I was taken there for was because I was supposed to be a playmate to one of their own children, and that's really not a good situation. But anyway, I ended up living there for a while, and then things progressed, and then I started in another foster home. I had always a good memory, I think because those were dramatic situations in my life, because I was 3 years old when I started shifting around to these different homes.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I didn't have a chance to really give it a lot of thought. It was sort of a sad situation, and but that's the way my life seemed to be going.
How did you feel? What about your foster parents? Did any one of them ever bond? Did you bond with them?
Not really. I think with a situation when you're a foster child, you're there for a different purpose, not for any type of bonding with a family, other than once in a while they would say, okay, you have to be in the house by 9 o'clock or whatever. It was so nobody really cared. And then got into school. I'm going to skip along here a little bit. Got into school and had a little trouble when I got into my 3rd grade. I had a teacher that was really a witch. And because I was left-handed and I did everything left-handed, she didn't approve of that. So she would hit my fingers with her ruler and dig her fingernails into my back. And there were 3 of us in the classroom at that time that were left-handed. So the punishment was then to send us to the coat room, which I didn't think that was a bad punishment at all. I didn't know why it was a problem for me to be a left-hander, so I thought that was perhaps some kind of a disability, although I never seemed to worry about it. And after that situation, I started to feel as though I wasn't really interested in school. Needless to say, I failed 3rd grade, and I didn't think that was a big deal at the time. But then I started to do some things that were not really appropriate, but nobody was ever looking for me or worrying about me. I was busy being a truant and skipping school and going different places, every place except school. And anyway, after a while, I got into 7th grade. And I thought you had a choice then of either taking music or art. And at that time, I couldn't afford an instrument or anything as far as music went. And then decided, okay, I'll do art. That'll be easy. And I won't need to go to class there or anything else. I can continue on my journey of what I was doing. And signed up for the art class. And the teacher that was teaching the art class, his name was Eugene Badaska. And he had quite an impact on my life, meaning that he said, Adele, you're no longer going to be skipping classes. You're going to have to be to my class because I'll make sure you're here. And that's not going to happen anymore. And I thought, well, what he was saying to me really had an impact on my life.
Someone actually took notice and cared.
Yes, and that's exactly what I thought. He cared. And so, not that I got really interested in art or did too much in his class, but ended up then I thought, you know, it's time not going down that one-way street the wrong way. And I got into high school and did fine in high school and graduated in 3.5 years and finally was out of foster care, which really was a good thing.
Welcome to the Dusty Rhodes Show. Hi everybody, I'm Dusty Rhodes, and tonight we have a special guest, Miss Adele Watt. Miss Adele, I met her through the Village's Tape to DVD. She wanted to preserve her family memories, and she came to us to fix a job that had been messed up by someone previously, and of course we got it fixed. But as I was doing the job for Miss Adele, I found out that she was a painter, and I was thinking, that would be great to show some of her work on our show. And then I found out her life story, and I was thinking, that would be even better. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to hear her story and see her paintings. And she's a really sweet lady, and we want to welcome Miss Adele to the Dusty Rhodes Show and to let her know that, and she doesn't know this, she thought that she was going to be on the show with another local artist. And as it turns out, she stole the show. You're going to get to see all of her interview tonight. And the parts that I did have to cut out, we will have online on the DustyRoadsShow.com for you to be able to hear the rest of her story. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching our second episode of the Dusty Rhodes Show. We have 8 more episodes to go, so contact us at theDustyRoadsShow.com or HonkyTonkNetwork.com. We're running local on your local station. Right now we are in Florida, but we will be in your city sometime soon, so look for us. And welcome to the Dusty Rhodes Show. Hi everybody, enjoy the show.
I noticed a man coming along quite a ways from me, and he was carrying a briefcase, and I continued to walk forward to where he was, and he came towards me, and I realized he was my 7th grade art teacher. And I was just, oh my God, I couldn't believe it, and I was just as excited meeting him as he was meeting me. And he asked me if I would please come to his house, which wasn't far from where I was, and meet his wife, and so on and so forth. So because of that meeting, which was really a joy, I adopted him then in my family as my dad.
Oh,
and
wow.
We did everything together, and holidays, all kinds of stuff. He had a summer home in Lake Champlain, and we used to go there with the children, with my family, up to his summer home in Lake Champlain. And I really then started to get interested in art, and I thought, wow, I hope that I can really do something with this. I didn't know if I had any talent or anything else, and he helped me a little bit along the way, which was really very, very nice. And so I started to really spend a lot of time getting involved with the art. I started out, first of all, with oil paintings. And really enjoyed that, and also did a lot of charcoal drawings. I was always fascinated with people and enjoyed drawing people, and spent a lot of time with charcoals and that medium. But I really enjoyed the oil paintings for quite a few years, and I ended up, then I had a portrait studio with 3 other girls, and when we would run out of money, we had to often pose for each other to do portraits and that. Because
we are back. Do you have reels of 8mm, 16mm, VHS, VHS-C, or mini DV gathering dust in some long forgotten place? The memories on this film will deteriorate over time and even be lost if you do not act to preserve these precious scenes of the past. It has been shown that videotape begins to fade rapidly after 10 to 12 years. The Village's tape to DVD will help keep your memories from fading with time, whether it be weddings, anniversaries, your child's first steps, parties or reunions recorded by the home cameras of previous decades. You will be greatly satisfied with the film transfer services provided by the Village's tape to DVD. Pickup and delivery is free in the Villages and surrounding areas. If you mail your tapes to the Village's tape to DVD, delivery will be free. Give them a call today at 352-501-9999 or visit their website at thevillagestapetodvd.com.
I have a question for you. Tell me about how you ended up finding your family, or your family ended up finding you, your natural family.
I really ended up finding my family. Not really finding my mother. In fact, I never even used those words, mother and dad, aunt and uncle, because I didn't know anybody like that. And one day I was out just on the street riding my little tricycle that fell off a junk truck. And all of a sudden I see this woman coming down the street. And I was just sort of mesmerized by her. She was in uniform. And I thought, I wonder who the heck she is, because I wasn't used to seeing people in uniforms. And so when she got to me, she said, "Are you Adele?" And I sort of looked at her. I didn't know whether to answer her or
How old
whatever.
were you at this time?
And I was 9 years old at that time.
Okay.
And I did say, "Yes, I'm Adele." And she said, "Well, I'm your mother." And it was
Oh, wow.
just a total shock.
What
to
did you
see her.
What did you say?
I was just stunned. I was stunned.
And what did she say?
Other than, "Adele, I'm your mother," I never got a hug or a kiss or anything. And then, poof, she was gone. It was like, I don't know where she went or anything like that. So then I thought, you know what, maybe I have another relative or someone, some way or other. So I told the foster family that I was living with, I said, "I think I might have a sister. I might have a sister." I didn't really know if I had one, but I didn't think I was the only one. So anyway, the foster family started to look around, and at that time I was a little over 9 years old. And yes, they found out that I had a sister, and she was a little over 8 years older than I, and she was in a Protestant home in the Buffalo area. So
she was a foster child as well.
Well, not a foster child, just living in an orphanage.
Oh, she was in an
Buffalo,
orphanage, okay.
yes.
Okay.
And so anyway, the foster family that I was living with got in touch with her, and they brought her then. And at that time, she was 17 years old, and I was 10 years old, 9 years old. So that was pretty exciting to see, because finally I had somebody in my family. And then I was able to talk to her about mother that I had met. I hated to use that word because it was...
She was named, yeah.
And the one time I looked through a phone book and I thought, oh my God, that's my last name. And I thought, that has to be my dad. It's on my birth certificate. It has to be my father. So anyway, I thought, I said to my husband George, I said, look, I think I located my father. And he said, well, Adele, call him up. I said, no, it's not that easy. I can't do something like that. And she says, he should be home pretty soon. Come on over.
Ah!
And I thought, oh my God, now what am I doing?
Did you tell her you didn't tell her you were his daughter?
I didn't tell anything.
Okay.
So anyway, we went over to her house and anyway, I sat there and I sort of turned my head and I saw a picture of him sitting on a end table. And I thought, ooh, I could feel sort of the blood rush out of my head.
Right.
And I thought, I got to get out of this situation because his wife was there and she started to ask a lot of questions. And I said, no, I'm just an acquaintance. And
Well, she had to notice the resemblance.
I really don't know.
Oh my goodness!
I don't really
You're looking at
know.
this picture that kind of looks like you,
Yeah,
and you're sitting in there. His wife's looking at you. You look kind of like my husband's child.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you watched the entire show. Also, our show will be featured on broadcast television, and it will be on a local channel near you. What I would like for you to do, though, is to go to thedustyroadsshow.com or honkytonknetwork.com and subscribe to the show, and you will have access to all of the shows that are put on by the Honky Tonk Network. It's a really good thing, and so I'm hoping to, because I want to really keep up with our fans. I feel that the audience, you out there, are more important than anything, and I want to be able to keep up with you. I want to be able to keep up with you in any way I can, because I believe that as you live your life, I want to share my life with you through the Dusty Rhodes Show, and I'm just looking so forward to hearing from you. I will have posted throughout the evening contact information for the Dusty Rhodes Show, so that you can feel free to contact us and offer your opinions, ideas, and we'll make sure you have our email addresses. And we're not your ordinary TV show. We encourage you. What I do want to let you know is that we're not looking for the next greatest star. So if that's what your goal is when contacting the Dusty Rhodes Show, don't be offended if you're not contacted back. We do reply back to everyone, but we're not looking for the next best star. We're looking for just local people doing extraordinary things during their ordinary lives, and I find that the community needs these sort of things. We have enough talent shows and competitions. We want to showcase beautiful people who are doing great things, and when I say beauty, I don't mean by looks. I'm talking about what's inside the person. So we are a local show. We're right now on the air in Florida. So if you're interested in us featuring you on our show, feel free to contact us at thedustyroadsshow.com or honkytonknetwork.com, and we'll consider all things and all people. And I'm excited, just so excited to share and be here with you on the Dusty Rhodes Show. Welcome, everybody.
That was his third wife.
Oh dear.
It was his third wife. So, make a long story short, when she passed away, I get a call after I handled all her information and that, and it was easy sort of doing business, even though she was in Canada, a lot easier than perhaps in the States. So I took care of all that, but I got a call about 2 years after she had passed away from an attorney in Montreal, and his name was Lawrence Trudeau. I questioned him.
Is
I
he
said,
related to Justin Trudeau?
That's exactly what I said. Are you in relation to, at that time, I said, Pierre Trudeau?
Oh, okay.
And he said, yeah, he's my brother. And I says, oh, that's interesting. And I said, well, okay, you know, why are you getting in touch with me? And he says, well, were you the daughter of Mary Boucher? And I said, yes, I am. And he says, well, she had a brother that was quite ill and was diagnosed at a young age at 16 or 17 years old with some serious mental problems. And he was put in an asylum in Montreal, Canada. And the reason why I'm calling you is because he had money in his estate, and he said, I have to know, besides you, if there's any other relatives that are currently living. And I said, oh, ye gads. This I don't think is going to end up real good. And I said, well, I have a sister, and I said, I know I have cousins, but I said it would probably take a long time to perhaps catch up with them. Because of my relatives, half of them being over in the States illegally, and half of them then being in Canada. And he says, well, will you be able to do that for me? And I says, I'm not sure about the time frame here. It's going to take me a while. Well, it took me another 2 years that I was in touch with Lawrence Trudeau, and he was very, very nice to work with. We had a nice relationship. A lot of it, my correspondence, which was nice, was in French, but I could speak some French and understand it, because at the time my mother always wanted me to speak French, or she would tell me to speak Canadian.
Right.
And I said, I didn't know they had a language other than A, but anyway, I said, I can understand it. So needless to say, I rounded up all the cousins. There were 11 of us that were still alive, and we ended up then, I arranged a reunion in Canada, in Toronto, and got all the cousins together, and then distributed money from the estates and got everything closed up and everything. But it was so sad to know that this was a brother and an uncle that the family completely just sort of
Ignored. Yeah.
talked out of his life.
Yeah.
Really bothered me, because, you know, being in that same situation where
Right.
I was sort of out of all their lives, and I don't know if they gave any of us a second thought.
Right. Right.
And then to have that sort of ending up in my life, really. But I've been really blessed to be in the Villages. I really enjoy my life here, and it's really wonderful. And I've met Dusti, because she's done some work for me, and I've been very, very pleased with that. She's a wonderful lady.
Oh, thank you.
Really. Great personality. And she says she sings.
Oh dear. Well, they all know that.
Well, I didn't know that. I like to sing. I sing.
Oh, do you?
Well, I don't know if I got a voice anymore. I'm a little hoarse now, but yeah, I always sing to myself.
Well, let me hear you sing. Go for
I
it.
don't know.
No, go for it.
Oh my God. Will I?
Sing a
I don't know.
Come on.
No, you'll edit to this. I can't.
Okay, go ahead.
What
Go
will I
for it.
sing? Well, if I'm talking about my paintings, I'll say, you sigh and then the song begins, and I hear violins. It's magic.
You're always a strong one, there to lend a helping hand. When your life's turned upside down, does anyone understand? It hurts me to know he broke your heart, and it aches tenderly. There's nothing I can say when your pain's this new and deep, but I'll be here, and I'll wonder, do you cry in your sleep? You're a woman with a heart as hard as the Dixie rails, and when you love, it goes deeper than the Texas wells. I'll cry for you, and you won't know how I weep, but I'll still wonder, do you cry in your sleep? Do you cry in your sleep? Oh, how you love sports. There's nothing like a good Vols game. Your world is great if everything remains the same. Now I lay you down to sleep, and I'll be your friend, and I'm just down the street, and I'll be here if you cry in your sleep. Do you cry in your sleep? You're a woman with a heart as hard as the Dixie rails, and when you love, it goes deeper than the Texas wells. I'll cry for you, and you won't know how I weep, and I'll still wonder, do you cry in your sleep? Do you cry in your sleep? Do you cry in your sleep?